Hello, today I'm reviewing and ranking 5 skin tints / tinted moisturizers, plus a bonus, those lighter complexion products that we love to wear in spring and summer. What makes this video especially fun is it's a collaboration with my good friend Tamara at Tamara's Timeless Beauty. If you're not familiar with her channel, you are going to love it. She has a beautiful channel with makeup reviews. She shares her morning and evening skincare routines, what she eats in a day, lifestyle content for the woman over 50. Definitely go check out her channel and subscribe. You're going to love her. This is our third year collaborating on our skin tint / tinted moisturizers that we love. And at the end of this video, you'll see on the end card, I'll put a playlist of our previous reviews. You're not going to want to miss those. We'll each be reviewing 5 complexion products, plus I'm reviewing a bonus product that Tamara actually recommended because she knows that I love a minimalist makeup look, that really sheer, barely there coverage with skin peeking through. If you love a minimalist makeup look, definitely don't forget to check out my bonus review. You're going to be getting, between both of our videos, a total of 11 product reviews. So when you're done watching my video, go to my pinned comment. It'll be the very top comment, and you'll see a link to Tamara's channel and her video, as well as in the description. And of course, as always, the products that I talk about will always be in the pinned comment and in the description. And now we even have YouTube shopping where they will pop up as the video moves along. If you're coming over from Tamara's channel, or you just randomly clicked on this video and you're new to Beyond 50 Skin, welcome. My name is Cindy. I am a 59-year-old retired occupational therapist and retired cosmetologist who loves to share information about skincare, new skincare innovations, minimalist makeup looks, and the occasional hair care video for women over 50. If you enjoy those topics, consider yourself invited to the Beyond 50 Skin community. Subscribe, like, click the notification bell, and join in the conversation in the comments. I think that's the best part of this community. I learn just as much from you as you say you learn from me. This is the part where we get to know each other better. I also have a membership if you're curious about that. That will be starting up in June of this year. Thank you for tolerating that long introduction. I know there's some new people here today, so I just wanted to welcome you. And now we're going to jump into the 5 skin tints plus the bonus skin tint that I have to review for you today. I am going to be ranking each one of these skin tints on a 25-point scale to give it a little bit of objectivity. And I have 5 categories, and each category gets 5 points. The texture, which should be weightless and light because we're reviewing skin tints and tinted moisturizer. Hydration should be fairly hydrating. I'm going to share with you how I boost hydration if the skin tint is a little bit on the drying side. The coverage, again, should show skin peeking through. We're going for light coverage. The finish should be fresh and dewy, but not glowy. We don't want that glow in the summer when we're already probably hot and a little bit sweaty. So we want something that's dewy and fresh, but not glowy. The wear time. I'm going to do a 6 to 8 hour wear time and share with you what it looks like midday and what it looks like at the end of the day. In all of my wear tests, I'm using the Dermatology Untinted Sunscreen. I'll put my entire skincare routine down in the comments below and down in the description so you can check that out. But I wore the same skincare routine for the wear test for every one of these. And I love an untinted sunscreen when I'm putting on a tint. Starting with the fairly new release by Milk Makeup, their Hydro Grip Gel Tint. The claim on this is that it's a skin tint that can last up to 12 hours. It's the skin tint that won't quit, is their tagline. It's got buildable light to medium coverage, a natural dewy finish. The weightless gel base is not heavy and not greasy on the skin. It's clinically proven to boost hydration with no fading, no creasing, no cracking, no settling into fine lines, which is going to be a fairly tall order for mature skin. It also claims to have souped up skincare. It visibly smooths and protects the skin barrier. It's fragrance-free, paraben-free, and silicone-free. Let's take a look at some of the skincare ingredients in this, starting with hyaluronic acid, which is a compound of 3 different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. So it will help retain moisture in the skin. It also has niacinamide, which is great for skin barrier protection, skin brightening, skin soothing, and the compound in here that's responsible for the gripping feature of the skin tint is blue agave extract. It's the one that's preventing the fading, the cracking, and the creasing. It also has Saccharomyces xylanum black tea ferment, and if you know what that is, you get bonus points. Put it down in the comments below. It has some of my favorite emollients and humectants, shea butter, sunflower seed oil, and squalane. So it has a fairly robust ingredient deck as far as skincare. It's $36 an ounce. It comes in 15 shades, and my shade is 3 Fair Cool. I would say it's a pretty decent shade match for me. As I open it and show you the texture, you're going to see that the product kind of runs out of the bottle. It's a fairly creamy formula. It easily spreads, but the top gets goopy really fast. The opening of the top, I think, is too wide for the actual formula, but it definitely spreads. It definitely gives light to medium coverage, I would say, on first application. You can apply it with your fingers or a brush or a sponge. They recommend any application type that you like. I actually enjoyed applying with my fingers and then tamping down the little bit of glow that I got with my BK Beauty brush. I used the travel foundation brush. I love the travel set. It's my absolute favorite set of brushes. And as you can see, there is a bit of glow, but if I tamp it down with my brush, I get rid of that glow and it sets in really nicely and kind of melts into my skin. Also, another option if you find it too glowy is you can use a little bit of powder to tamp it down. I like the Hourglass. This is their Veil powder. So there are lots of ways that you can tweak this formula to make it work for you, whether you have normal or more dry skin. My final thoughts on the Hydro Grip Gel Tint are, yes, it is a skin tint meets a bit of skincare. It's a nice bonus to have a few skincare ingredients in your tinted moisturizer or your skin tint, but would this replace my skincare routine? Absolutely not, but it's a nice bonus. This also has a little bit more coverage than I would prefer in a skin tint. I definitely like the Beauty Blender application technique because it's just a little bit more of skin peeking through, no makeup look. But if you like a medium coverage, you're probably going to like this. And you would probably do best to apply it with your fingers and then maybe blend it out a little bit with a brush. I scored this a 3 out of 5 on texture because it claims to be weightless, and it definitely isn't weightless on the skin. Even with my dry skin, I can feel this product by the end of the day. And if you have oily skin, you're definitely not going to like the fact that this feels a little bit heavy on the skin. Or if you live in a humid climate, you're probably going to not like the fact that this has a little bit more weight than it claims to have. So it gets a 3 out of 5 for texture. Hydration, definitely a 5 out of 5. My dry skin loves this without any additional moisturizers to kind of boost it up. There are some skin tints in this roundup that need a little bit more moisturizer than my regular skincare routine to work. Coverage, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because that's just a personal opinion, honestly. It says light to medium, and it truly is light to medium, but I just prefer a lighter coverage, especially when I'm looking for a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer. I don't really want medium coverage. I would kind of look to a medium coverage foundation if I wanted that much coverage. As far as finish, I gave it a 5 because it definitely evens my skin tone. Even if I shear this out, it reduces the redness. It kind of blends in any imperfections that you have. It doesn't really sink into the pores as much as I thought it would, given the weight of this product. So it gets a 5 out of 5 for finish. And as far as wear, it gets a 4 out of 5. I can still see it at the end of the day. It has typical breakup around the nose area and the mouth area and the chin. But RMS Beauty Sun Cover Up Super Tint 50, also a new launch, says that it's a skincare infused tinted moisturizer with mineral SPF 50. Now you guys know what I'm going to say. There's no way we're going to wear enough of this to get the SPF factor of 50 that we need. It just won't look right on the skin. It does say that it gives a radiant, even skin tone, has 8-hour wear, 24 hours of hydration. It's one of those products that is kind of new on the market where they say that the skincare ingredients infuse into the skin. So even after you wash it off and do your regular skincare routine, this product provides extra hydration. It also claims that it's 94% skincare infused, sun and blue light protection, lightweight, buildable coverage, hydrates all day long, and is formulated without sulfates, parabens, and phthalates. The key ingredients in this formula are squalane, a very familiar emollient humectant, bisabolol, also pretty familiar in a lot of skincare formulas as well as foundations and skin tints. It soothes and it calms, protects the skin barrier. Now we get into some interesting proprietary complexes. The first one is called Glowplex. It's a combination of niacinamide, natural peptides, including quinoa seed extract and pea extract. The claim is that it boosts radiance, smooths skin, firms, and brightens skin tone. It also has an adaptogenic herbal blend, a proprietary blend of 9 adaptogenic herbs that helps balance, hydrate, and soothe and soften the skin. So a couple proprietary complexes in here that you're not going to get in other formulas. So kind of interesting that they went out of their way to make these kind of unusual inclusions in the formula and make this product a little bit on the special side. And with those proprietary complexes, you get a boost in price. This is $49 an ounce, the most expensive one that I'm going to be reviewing today. It comes in 13 flexible shades. My initial shade that I was shade matched with online was Cameo. That definitely leans a little bit too warm and too orange for me. As you can see, when I picked up Ivory, it was a much better skin tone match. The one I'm putting on here right now is actually Cameo, so I have to give it to them. They are somewhat flexible. It gives me kind of a tan look, but my actual shade match is much better with Ivory. And I would say it still leans pretty warm. All of their shades are on the warm side. I don't see any cool undertones in any of their shades. Just know that going in, if you have a really cool undertone, you might have trouble finding a good shade match. But I have to give it to them, they are a bit flexible. As far as application, it applied really well with my fingers, and then I like to shear it out a little bit with my foundation brush, and I get a really nice satin finish. But I noticed by the end of the day when I did the Cameo wear test, when I was first trying it out, that it was a little bit too drying throughout the day. So what I did is I boosted it with Merit's Duo. This is their primer slash moisturizer and their Skin Glow Complex. This is a bi-phase product. They say you can use this one first or this one first. It doesn't matter which one you put on first. I use it at the end of my skincare routine and I applied the serum first and then the moisturizer slash primer. Then my sunscreen. I'm even getting better wear and longevity today. I put on Ivory and I boosted it with this Duo and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. It is late in the afternoon and I think you would agree that for 6, maybe even 7 hours in, I got up pretty early this morning. This is looking pretty good. Let's take a look at our scoring. As far as texture, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's a nice light serum texture, easily blendable, very lightweight on the skin. Hydrating, wasn't very hydrating. I definitely had to boost my skincare routine in order to get the hydration that I need for my very dry skin. So I gave that a 3 out of 5. Coverage, 4 out of 5. This is exactly the type of coverage that I like with a skin tint. My Skin But Better. You can build this up too to a light medium coverage, but I prefer to shear it out for a very light coverage. I would even consider using a beauty blender with this, and I would get even a lighter coverage for that no makeup look. As far as finish, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It definitely evened my skin tone and has a beautiful satin finish if you don't put any extra moisturizer, and if you do, if you have dry skin, you'll just get a little bit more of a dewy finish, but either way, the finish is beautiful, whether you go for satin or you go for dewy with a little bit of extra. And as far as wear, I was really impressed. By the end of the day, this didn't break up much at all. I'm headed toward the end of the day today, and it still looks really fresh. I really am impressed with the wear. I didn't expect that for as light and sheer a formula as it is. Tower 28's Sunny Days Tinted Mineral Sunscreen is a little bit of an outlier in this skin tint review, but I've been wanting to review this forever. I've heard great things about it, and it's been on my back burner. I don't know why I haven't reviewed it before now, probably because it was a tinted sunscreen, but honestly, this is just a skin tint. The SPF in this is 30, so basically it's just a moisturizing skin tint. Let's get to some of their claims. It says it's a light to sheer coverage, which evens out redness and discoloration. It also claims to soothe UV stressed skin, which I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. I have a feeling they're referring to one of the ingredients, but we'll take a look here in a second. It also says it has a natural finish, but lets your skin imperfections peek through, which is just what a tinted moisturizer should do. And it also says it has medium buildable coverage to cover blemishes and discoloration. So it kind of claims to be sheer and light, and then it says it's medium and buildable. So we'll have to see. I'll show you what I think as I apply this. Let's look at some of the key ingredients. The first one I want to call out is white sage extract because I think that is the ingredient that they're saying is helping with UV stressed skin. It's supposed to soothe and neutralize free radicals from the sun, so that kind of makes sense. They also have prickly pear extract, which protects from blue light and pollution, and then they call out their non-nano zinc oxide for their sun protection. Once again, not enough coverage for the sun protection that we need because it would look ridiculous if you wore the amount of product that you need to get 30 SPF. All right, let's look at the price. It's $32 an ounce. The shades are 17 flexible shades, and fun fact, all the shades are named after some of their favorite hangouts in LA. The first one that I tried and got matched with is Mulholland. This is definitely too dark and too orange for me. The second one is their lightest shade, Fairfax. I think it's number 05 and this is number 20. The Mulholland was definitely too dark, but the Fairfax is a really good shade match. I liked it. It blended out pretty well. Now the coverage on this is a little bit more than I would like in a skin tint, and I have to say that the application process, it was pretty stiff. My preference is to apply this with a damp beauty blender. I get a lot less coverage. I find this product, like I said, a little stiff to apply, and a damp beauty blender gives me just the right amount of coverage that I consider a nice skin tint without looking too cakey and too thick. It's definitely a dewy application. If you lean oily, you're probably not going to like this product. If you're normal with an oily T-zone, you're definitely going to want to powder down. And I do not recommend using a brush to blend this out because it just ends up streaking. So stick with the beauty blender or your fingers and shear it out. That's what I found to be the best way to apply this skin tint. And I did not have very good luck building up this product to a medium coverage. First of all, I wouldn't want a medium coverage, but if you're trying to build this up to medium coverage, I found the layering ability very difficult because it's already fairly thick and a fairly medium coverage when it comes straight out of the bottle. As far as scoring, I gave the texture a 3 out of 5 because it's pretty stiff. It takes a little while to blend this product in and make it look nice and skin-like, and you definitely will benefit from using a beauty blender. Hydration, I gave it for my dry skin a 5 out of 5. I didn't need any extra skincare. This is a super hydrating product, and it feels somewhat occlusive on the skin. As far as coverage, I gave it a 3 out of 5 because it's definitely more coverage than I like, and it definitely, as far as finish, a 3 out of 5. It was very dewy. It wasn't light on the skin. I definitely could feel the product on all day long. So if you want a light sheer coverage and a nice quality finish, this is probably not going to be the product for you. It's just your basic everyday tinted moisturizer with a little bonus of sunscreen. As far as wear, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's so hydrating, it basically just stuck to my skin all day. There wasn't a ton of breakup by the end of the day, so if you want a skin tint with longevity that doesn't really have a refined finish, Tower 28's Sunny Days could be the one for you. Laura Mercier recently reformulated their classic best-selling tinted moisturizer into a long wear formula. They call it the Long Wear Tinted Moisturizer Natural Dewy SPF 30 with Hyaluronic Acid. What a name. But basically, it's a long wear spin-off of their original tinted moisturizer. I was so excited to try it because I tended to gravitate more toward, especially in the summer months when I wanted a bit of glow, the Laura Mercier Tinted Light Revealer. I just liked this formula over the classic tinted moisturizer, so I was super curious to see what the new formulation would be like. Let's look at some of the claims. It says it has a 16-hour wear, it improves skin tone and texture, 24-hour hydration, we're seeing that once again, humidity proof, SPF 30 protection, you know what I think about that. It's supposed to reduce the appearance of pores and fine lines. Let's look at the call-out ingredients. Hyaluronic acid, kind of everything has that, as we know. Upcycled grape extract with resveratrol, which is an antioxidant. Multiple humectants and emollients and moisturizers. And one of their key call-outs is a probiotic complex with lactobacillus and oligosaccharides to help strengthen the skin barrier. So one little unique complex in there, and I was super hopeful about this formula. The cost is $29 an ounce. It has 20 shades, which is amazing, and my shade is Cameo. As far as application, I didn't have any problem either using my fingers, using a beauty blender, which is what I did for my wear test, and it also works really well if you want to apply with your fingers and brush it out with a foundation brush, or just apply and stipple in with a foundation brush if you want a little more coverage. So putting it on was super easy no matter what method you prefer to use. But I have to tell you, At the end of the day, you're going to be surprised how this wears. So let's see how the Laura Mercier new reformulation scored. As far as texture, I really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's creamy, it glides on. You can use a brush, you can use a beauty blender, you can use your fingers. It glides on really well. As far as hydrating, you know what? It is not hydrating. By midday, I could already see it breaking up. It's already sucking my skin dry. Coverage. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's not exactly skin perfecting and pore blurring the way they said. The coverage is nice, but like I said, by midday, I was not feeling it. And then finish, I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it definitely evened my skin tone when I put it on. It gave an initial soft glow. It definitely improved my complexion. It's definitely my skin, but better. As far as wear, I gave it a 2 out of 5. By the end of the day, this product completely sucked into my skin. I don't think it's anywhere even close to the 16 hours that it promised. Definitely a bit of a disappointment with the reformulation of the Laura Mercier.
The Jones Road Just Enough Tinted Moisturizer launched about 6 or 8 weeks ago, and I purchased it as soon as I heard about it. Honestly, I haven't even gotten my order yet. Tamara rescued me with a lighter shade that didn't work for her. I purchased it from her. My order is still on the way, but I was so excited to review this for you. I'm really trying to find a Jones Road product that I love because I love their philosophy of being a minimalist makeup look. I haven't found my favorite coverage from them yet. There are not that many products that actually work for me, so I'm hoping that this one is going to be a winner. Let's look at some of the claims. It says it's a feel put together look without looking like you've done anything. Typical no makeup claim from Jones Road. I love it. I love a minimalist makeup look. It says it conceals redness, evens out your skin tone, gives you a light coverage. It improves hydration, protects the skin's moisture barrier, and you can apply it with your fingers or use their foundation brush. They recommend a flat foundation brush, which I prefer a fluffier brush, but you can do it with a brush or fingers. As far as call out ingredients, it's really very basic. It has sodium hyaluronate and glycerin, so you know it's going to have some moisturizing properties, but nothing super special as far as the ingredient deck. The price is $25 an ounce. Now, I have seen that almost doubled on some websites, but on the Jones Road website, it's $44. It's $25 an ounce. You get 1.7 ounces or 50 mils. So it's a fairly decent price, but be careful where you shop for this because I've seen it at exorbitant prices. It comes in 16 shades. The shade that Tamara shared with me is Ivory, and I ordered Fair, which is one shade lighter. They're both neutral undertones. I imagine that the Ivory, which was a great match for my skin tone right now, is going to be better for me in the spring and summer, whereas the Fair will probably work better in the fall when my skin is a little bit lighter. It applied beautifully with my fingers. You can buff it out with the brush if you want a more refined look. I didn't need any extra moisturizer. Maybe on really dry days, I might use the Duo, but in fact, this was really hydrating and I was surprised given the limited amount of ingredients in the ingredient deck. Sometimes it's just the formula. So my midday check-in, it looks really pretty. It's got a nice satin finish. By the end of the day, I'm also still really impressed. So let's look at my scoring for the Jones Road Just Enough Tinted Moisturizer. As far as texture, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's a nice creamy formula. It goes on really lightweight. Is it completely 100% weightless? No, but it's a very light creamy formula. Hydrating. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Looking at the ingredient deck, I didn't expect this to be hydrating at all. I expected it to break up midday, have really dry skin. Not at all. I was really pleasantly surprised. Given the minimalist ingredient deck, it held together and was fairly hydrating on my dry skin. Coverage, I gave it a 5 out of 5. This is just what I expect a tinted moisturizer to look like. My skin, but better. No makeup, a little bit of skin peeking through. Absolutely love the coverage on this tinted moisturizer. Pleasantly surprised. Finish. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It is a little bit more satin, and I think that I would prefer a little bit more of a dewy finish. So it got a 4 out of 5. Where I was kind of surprised. The normal breakup in my high cheekbone area. I do have a lot of flushing the day that I wore this, but that has nothing to do with the product. That's just me having a flushing event. Pleasantly surprised about the wear, gave it a 4 out of 5. For the bonus tinted serum today, I'm reviewing Typology's tinted serum. This is a French company. I had actually never heard of Typology before. Tamara recommended it because she knows how I love a no makeup look. Let's look at some of the claims. It says it evens skin tone, it gives light coverage, very natural, and a no makeup finish. The ingredient deck is pretty lean. It calls out vitamin C, aloe vera, silicone-free, and fragrance-free. It comes in only 6 shades, and I am shade number 1. They are pretty flexible shades. I did use the Merit Duo to help with the moisture content because it is a very sheer and very light formula. If you have oily skin and you just want that barely there look, you are gonna love this. If you lean a little bit more dry like I do, you're gonna wanna add some more moisturizing ingredients in your skincare routine before you put this on. Let's score the skin tint on my rating scale. For texture, I gave it a 5 out of 5. It is the most beautiful, lightweight texture. If you have oily skin, you are going to love this because it is super sheer. It's gonna be your skin, but better. But you will see your imperfections peeking through. It just kind of blurs them out. And I just love that about this tint. As far as hydration, I only gave it a 3 out of 5. I had to come in with the Merit Duo to get enough hydration for my really dry skin. So it only got a 3 out of 5 for hydration, but you can work around that. As far as coverage, I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it did blur my imperfections. Now, a lot of you are probably not going to rate it a 4 out of 5 for coverage because you're going to want more. But it's exactly the type of tinted serum that I love, that sheer wash of color. As far as finish, I gave it a 5 out of 5. It has the most beautiful satin finish. I was shocked once I put this on. Ever so slightly buildable if you want to build it up a little bit, but the finish is absolutely gorgeous, this lovely satin finish. And as far as wear, I didn't expect to even see this at the end of the day. I was shocked. I gave it a 5 out of 5. This was still there at the end of the day. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it's a factor that I did some extra moisturizing steps in my skincare routine, but it looked just as beautiful midday as it did at the end of the day. Super shocked, absolutely love this new find. Thank you, Tamara, for introducing this to me. Oh, and I forgot to mention the cost. It's $44 an ounce. So let's take a look at the scores, and we're gonna rank these. I haven't even tallied up the scores yet, so I'm not quite sure. I have a good idea of what is number 1. We're going to rank these from my least to my most favorite, kind of skipping the bonus product because that really wasn't supposed to be included in this ranking, but I wanted to share it with you because it's something unusual that you just don't find typically in a skin tint. In at number 5 is Mercier's reformulation of their classic tinted moisturizer in a long wear formula. Honestly, it just didn't hold up for me. I gave it a 15 out of 25. At number 4 is Tower 28's Sunny Days tinted sunscreen with a score of 18 out of 25. In the summer, I probably won't wear this. It's going to be a little bit too heavy. Also, if you lean a little bit more on the oily side, I think this is just going to be a little bit too heavy for you. I would wear this more, I think, in the winter months, considering kind of the weight of it and the coverage. RMS Beauty came in at number 3 with their new sun cover-up Super Tint SPF 50. I gave it a score of 19 out of 25. Lovely satin formula. I do think it definitely works better with a little bit of moisture boost if you have dry skin, but absolutely impressive formula, beautiful satin finish, and held up pretty well throughout the day. In at number 2 is Milk's Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I actually really enjoyed this formula. Is it weightless? Absolutely not. If you have oily skin, you're going to want to powder this down, and you might want to apply it with a beauty blender and definitely use either no moisturizer or a very light moisturizer. But I was really impressed with how long it wore throughout the day. It did not crease. It did not get into any of my lines around my eyes. Really impressed with the wear on this, and it got a score of 20 out of 25. In at number 1 was a huge surprise to me, Jones Road, the Just Enough Tinted Moisturizer. Really impressed with this. It works just like a tinted moisturizer. It came in with a score of 21 out of 25. Honestly, number 4 through number 1, I would all wear. Like them all, kind of for different reasons. But again, the winner today is the Jones Road Just Enough Tinted Moisturizer. I hope you enjoyed this skin tint review. I had so much fun collaborating with Tamara. Again, if you're not part of the Beyond 50 Skin family, definitely consider subscribing and joining our community. I also want to mention that I'm going to be starting a membership. And if you're interested in some content just for members, I encourage you to look at that and sign up for the membership. I'm going to be sharing just some behind the scenes type of content that I just wouldn't normally post, very casual content. I'll be doing a little product sharing. So definitely sign up for the membership if you'd like to be part of the tight-knit Beyond 50 Skin community. Thanks so much for watching and wishing you all a skintastic day.